City and the City of Grover Beach from 1981 to 2007. And whereas Mr. Garing continued on as a consulting engineer for sewer and water for the city until 2020. Whereas Mr. Garing either designed or managed construction on numerous major city projects, including reconstruction of numerous streets, the industrial area trunk sewer main, the Grand Avenue storm drain, and construction and reconstruction of the city's major water storage reservoirs, their wells, and their nitrate treatment plant. Whereas Mr. Garing has served the city of Grover Beach and the South County Advisory as the manager of the city's regional groundwater supply. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Grover Beach hereby recognizes the dedicated service, the leadership, and the achievements of Mr. Jim Garing that he has made to the City of Grover Beach. So Jim, let me first say congratulations. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's an honor to proclaim this, provide this proclamation, and for your many years of service. And now I'll turn it over to Mr. Greg Ray, who I know has some words that he'd like to share.
I do, and thank you, Mayor and City Council. It's truly a great honor to be able to shine the light on Jim Garing, who I've known for many years and who has been an exemplary member of our profession as an engineer, as well as a great member of our community and in serving this community in so many different ways. So I'd just like to say that, tonight it's my honor to recognize and honor his dedication, leadership, and achievements, both regionally and in particular for the city that we work for. A little bit of bio on history on Jim. You may not know that he's recently relocated. One of the reasons we're talking about this tonight. He's recently relocated from rural Rio Grande to Prescott, Arizona, and what I'm going to say is an attempt to retire. And I say that in all honesty because most of the agencies he's served with or for so many years, including Grover Beach, have already announced our intentions to try to lure him back for work from time to time. And in our case, most recently, last week, I had him attend a meeting with me regarding water resources. So good luck on that retirement, Jim. And I think it's, not just because we all like Jim so much, and me personally, but because we will miss his great stories and his former life as an Air Force fighter pilot, an accomplished horseman. Many of you may not know that. And most recently a race car driver. So Jim is a man of many talents in addition to his engineering expertise. But I think we mostly are going to miss Jim because of his extensive knowledge on the water resource systems in the South County in particular. A little background, Jim was born in Arizona, but moved to San Luis Obispo in the 50s. He attended Cal Poly, so go Cal Poly in the 60s, where he graduated with a degree in mechanical engineering. While in college, he worked part-time on a survey crew for Garing, Taylor and Associates, which started with his father and Sam Taylor. And part of his work while as an intern was on the survey crew for the Lopez Lake Reservoir before there was a lake there. I think Jim has recounted stories of there was a park there, and I think he said it was Rousman Park or something to that effect, that is now underwater. Jim actually served in the armed forces beginning in 1967 after graduation from Cal Poly, with first the U.S. Marine Corps, and then fairly quickly transitioned to a fighter pilot with the U.S. Air Force. Jim flew many combat missions in Vietnam conflict and received numerous awards during his military service, where he eventually transitioned to Navy jet training until his retirement in 1972. Jim began working for Garing, Taylor and Associates in 1972, and where he worked on many notable South County projects, including the Grand Avenue storm drain, the Grover City Master Drainage Plan, and many Grover City water projects, as mentioned previously in the proclamation, including the water mains, reservoirs, and our nitrate treatment plant. Jim was appointed city engineer in 1981, replacing Sam Taylor. That's the Taylor in Garing, Taylor and Associates. He replaced Sam Taylor in 1981. He served in that capacity until 2007, at which time he continued on as a consulting engineer and certainly a mentor for myself as your new city engineer. And he was consulting engineer for sewer and water and an advisor on the water resources for the Northern City Management Area and County Zone 3. His service to the city spans 39 years and includes a number of notable city projects, including many street projects, new and reconstructed water reservoirs, water main upgrade projects. He is co-author of the Gentleman's Agreement, which currently manages our groundwater resources cooperatively with 3 other agencies. And of course, the nitrate removal plant, the Mentone storm drain project, and probably most recently, the industrial area sewer trunk main project that eliminated 3 lift stations that the city operated and maintained. So Jim, on behalf of myself, the residents of the city of Grover Beach, the Northern Cities Management Area, and certainly the residents of the South County at large, I thank you for your dedication, your leadership, your advice, and your achievements that have shaped the growth and progress of the city of Grover Beach. I know we'll miss you and your presence and your great stories, and I wish you the best in your new life in Arizona. And we do have a plaque that we had made for Jim that we will present virtually tonight. Hopefully you can see it. I'll read it to you, and ultimately it will be sent to Jim. There's the city logo at top in case you can't see it, and it says, "Presented to Jim Garing in appreciation of 39 years of dedicated service and leadership to the city of Grover Beach and the Northern Cities Management Area, 2020. Jim, thank you very much, and just it's been a pleasure working with you.
Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything at this point, but thank you very much. I appreciate the recognition. I would mention that I'm actually not totally retired, as you mentioned, and I'll keep myself available to do those things that I can do from Arizona. You know, I thought I would relate to the council a couple of small things. One would be that when I came to town in 1972, a guy by the name of Morgan Page was the Director of Public Works for Grover City. And I was looking up on the hill and I noticed something, and there was a story about Reservoir One, and that is that Reservoir One was built in 1964. And Morgan polled the council trying to get everybody to decide what color to paint the reservoir. And for whatever reason, he was totally unable to get a consensus. And in desperation, perhaps more exasperation, he painted the tank pink. So for the next 20 years, Reservoir One, up on the Hillcrest site with no trees around it, was a bright pink until such time as we finally rebuilt it in the mid-1980s. So that's my story.
Jim, that is a great story, and Mr. Bronson, I don't know if we should start to have an initiative to bring that pink paint back for that tank, but I'll leave that to maybe our internal staff to kind of recreate that story over years. But Mr. Garing, thank you for your stories over the years. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your mentorship. Had the opportunity to be a member of the Zone 3 Advisory Committee with you, and everyone, whenever there was a historical question, Jim, do you remember this? And invariably, he always did and always will. So I just want to say thank you again for myself, but let's see if there's anyone else who wants to make any comments from the council. So, Mayor Pro Tem Bright.
Thank you. Yes, I do. I just want to thank you, Jim, for all of your wisdom and knowledge. It was a pleasure serving with you on Zone 3. I've said this a number of times, but truly the first time I ever heard Century Wells and saltwater intrusion those words came out of your mouth, and I just can't thank you so much. You were always so gracious when I didn't know what the heck those things meant. You were always so kind to explain that to me, and though I am still waiting on your brain download, please. We need it, and so can we have it in like the next 2 weeks, please? We will miss you greatly.
Very good. Thank you for those comments. Let's see if there's any other members of the council that want to say anything.
I do.
Councilmember Shaw.
I just wanted to thank you, Mr. Garing, for your service to the city. We didn't get to serve together often, but the few times we got to be on the Zone 3 together, I was just so impressed by your breadth of knowledge. And I was even saying that to my family yesterday. If I had one wish, it would just be to have Jim Garing's elastic brain that remembers everything in such detail. It's truly just such a feat, and we were so lucky to have you for the number of years we did, so thank you.
I'll just echo everything my colleagues have said. I think, being semi-new to this city, it's really nice to hear the stories and relive the history, and I think that's really important for us to continue on, so thank you for your service. I really appreciate it.
Very good. Well, Mr. Garing, you will be missed. You will be called upon, and we hope you come back and visit us sometime again soon.
Thank you all very much, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. Thank you all.
Very good. Thank you, sir. We'll let you get back to your retirement this evening. You're more than welcome to continue and watching our meeting. It is going to be a fun evening tonight, but that will take us to our second of our ceremonial calendar this evening, where we do have a mayor commendation for Charlie Beeman.